let's implement a first section of our middleware to solve the first problem that we have. The problem that we have to solve mainly is that independently what we send here, the title, as we know that surely a category should have a title instead of a name because it is the transform value. Laravel is not receiving this because remember, it is using the original values and not the transform one. So what we are going to do is to intercept the request and transform it to the original values based on the transform one. It means if we receive a title, the user sends a title. That is very good. And internally, we are going to say that this title is in fact the name, but the user originally sends a title. So let's go to our middleware. The first thing that we need to do is to receive the transformer. And then we are going to transform the input with a new array. So let's create an empty array that we are going to fill input by input with the new and original names. So for every input that we have, we are going to do the same task, but we need to be careful to obtain only the inputs and not the query strings in the URL. So we need to go deeper in the request to obtain only that. And that can be done in this way. Request, we are using the attribute request. And then just obtain all the fields. It is trying to obtain only the elements on the body of the request. It is going to be called input. And we are going to keep this like value. So we just need to create the new index for the transformed input. So the transformed input in the specific field from the original one is going to be equals to the original value that the user sends. So we need to obtain the original value from the transformer. So if the user sends, for example, title, we are going to know that title is the original attribute for name. If we receive as input the description, we are going to know that it is details in the case of the transformer for category, of course. And that is going to be equals to that value. That's all. After this, we just need to replace the original inputs of the request with a new one. For this, we can use a replace method, sending only the transformed input. And then we can continue normally with our middleware. So let's check if everything is working. As we said at the beginning, the title is not being recognized, but if we send now, we can see that it is being recognized, inclusive knowing that it is not the original attribute from the model, but our middleware is accepting this and then internally is changing the transform element that we receive to the original one, and the controller is going to do anything as usual. Now, the problem that we have, of course, is that if we don't send the title, it is going to say that it is name, but should be title. So, during the next classes, we are going to modify our transformers and our middleware to make it work as expected. So, see you there.